Hello humans, it's me Evermore Sol and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have a pick a card reading for the new moon in Virgo happening on September 6th. So we're going to jump into the reading, but before that, I want to say if you do want to see more of my content, feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok where I post quite frequently. And I'm going to give you a little bit of time to meditate with the 3 piles. I'm starting off with tarot because I'm going to be doing a on-camera shuffle for the rest of your cards, so feel free to take some time with this short, quick meditation. If you hear any crackling or anything in the background, it's because this camera is going off, especially right now that the vent's on, but it's going to keep crackling as I'm burning my purification and protection candle that I just made not too long ago. So while this is burning, I still want to go ahead and do a quick little sound cleansing for us before we begin. And invite your guys to, of course, come in and allow me to divine for them and for them to channel their messages through me. So let's go ahead and start. We have the Chariot, Nine of Candles in reverse, Seven of Candles, and the Mystic of Bells. So immediately seeing these cards, I see like a lot of you are coming from some pretty tough times. Because of the Nine of Candles in reverse, the Nine of Candles really talks about persevering through adversity. When you think of the 10 of Candles being this release of this heavy burden or feeling burden, the Nine of Candles is, you know, you're trying your hardest to move through things that are essentially dragging you down. But we have it in reverse. I see a lot of you are coming out of this cycle of just hard and tough times. I also want to say if you hear any thundering, it's a thunderstorm right now. So in it for you, you know, things may have seemed stormy and just, you know, it's been a really rough patch in life. I'm hearing the pandemic has been most definitely affecting you. For some of you, I'm hearing that the pandemic affected your income. I'm hearing your self-esteem. If you've, like most of us, have put on a little bit of weight in the pandemic or a lot of weight. I'm also hearing that you were just struggling with being alone during this time because a lot of us weren't able to connect with our loved ones the way we wanted to. So a lot of you are also struggling with being alone. And I see like you're finally feeling like it's kind of okay. And I know we like to like ignore the pandemic and not talk about it in the spiritual community for some odd reason. I 100% believe in it. You know, so let's not get it twisted. And if you don't, you know, this is not the reading for you. So yeah, things were taking a toll. It's been a rough patch in life. We also have to think about the past year and a half or longer. Well, yeah, longer. It hasn't just been a pandemic we've been going through. It's been, if you live in the US, it's been turbulent times with our political systems. It's been turbulent times with our economy. I mean, with the healthcare overall. This has been some tough time for the collective, but I feel like for you, you know, it's really been impacting you because it was impacting your immediate surroundings. Like if you weren't just seeing things on the news, I'm hearing you were actually experiencing them in your day-to-day activities. But I see with the Chariot and the Nine of Candles in reverse, well, the Chariot, you know, you've been pushing through. Seven of Candles, you've been trying your best to keep your eyes on the prize, essentially keep your eyes on what it is you want to achieve. And I'm hearing for a lot of you, especially with this Mystic of Bells, you're gaining clarity on that. You're gaining clarity on where you want to go, where you're trying to move to. You know, it's not just this new moon in Virgo. You know, we're entering the 9th month of the year. We're also about to come to New Year's pretty soon, and a lot of you are just having this mental clarity and this vision of how you want your life to look. And you're just like, you know, I feel like a lot of you realize like right now these times are only temporary. And, you know, right now, the best you can do is focus on you and focus on what it is you want to achieve. And I commend you for that because it's a hard mentality to have, because I'm hearing and I'm seeing like the pandemic and everything we experienced, you know, over these past, since the beginning of 2020 has been impacting like your day-to-day. Like again, this isn't just things you're seeing on the news. These are things you're experiencing right now in your day-to-day life. These are things that are impacting you right now, but you're keeping your head held high. You are keeping faith in God. I'm hearing you're keeping faith in the divine, and you're pushing through. You're really just like, I'm going to keep pushing on and pushing on, because I know this is only temporary, and I know that the future I'm envisioning myself, and I'm seeing this future of really stability. That's what's really standing out for you. This future of stability, this future where you don't have to worry about, I'm hearing, looking behind your shoulders, like watching out, because I hear some of you may live in some pretty I'm not going to say bad, but let's just say a little dangerous or risky neighborhoods, that you don't have to worry about how you're going to pay a certain bill, that you don't have to worry about not being able to afford certain medication. You know, you have a vision of how you want your life to look, where you are relaxing in stability. You don't even care about luxury or absurd abundance. Let me not use the word absurd, but a lot of abundance. You are worried just about having all your needs met, and that is the vision you're picturing in your mind, is having all your needs met. And as I said in the previous pick a card full moon reading, you know, that was the second full moon in the sign of Aquarius. And as I was stating, you know, a lot of things were coming to completion. A lot of things were coming to completion. A lot of things were wrapping up. And as we're moving into Virgo season in this new moon in Virgo, we're essentially going to be ironing out the details of our lives. And with you all, I see that you're ironing out the details of your vision of what you want to move towards. And you're making a practical plan of how you're going to apply this. Yes, this is beautiful. I'm going to start shuffling some of your oracle cards, but, you know, as I said, take this message if it's resonating. I'm getting chills, so I know it's resonating for some of you. It may not resonate for all, but I know it's resonating. It's hitting home for the people this reading is meant for. We have low vibes. But the thing is, a lot of you are coming out of these low vibrations. You're coming out of this energy of things, like I said, not knowing how you're going to pay a bill. Of having to look over your shoulders. I'm hearing when you're just trying to do something as simple as walk home. I also want to say I'm not judging anyone. I've lived in some not so safe neighborhoods. I have struggled financially before, so I'm not judging anybody. I just want to point that out. You know, but essentially I'm hearing, you know, and I understand that a lot of you are tired of the struggle, because living in that way gets very, very exhausting, and that's not the way. Yeah, because I'm getting chills. You're very, very tired and exhausted from living that way, and honestly, it's not the way we're supposed to live. We're supposed to be comfort, you know, in comfort. Our needs are supposed to be met, and I see that by you ironing out these details of your life and making this plan of how you're going to get to, you know, these things, you know, and it can be something as simple as looking at the type of house you want to live in, looking at the type of neighborhood you want to live in. And I'm going to say something, and because, you know, a lot of my subscribers are black and brown people, and I talk about black and brown experience because I'm a black woman, obviously. When you are looking for these places, don't just look for the perfect house, but look for the perfect neighborhood as well. And I'm going to speak from my own experience really quick, so I'm going to stop shuffling, but I want to speak from my experience, because it, you know, it helps you relate to me. It helps you, you know, get to know me and, you know, understand me. So the previous neighborhood that I lived in, me and my fiance, we left our home state and a town we lived in for a pretty long time, back in June. So we lived in a pretty safe neighborhood. No violence, no gunshots, no anything. I know I say that really nonchalant, but, you know, if you've grown up in certain neighborhoods, you know, those were kind of common, and you get used to it, and, you know, it ends up, you know, it's just a part of day-to-day life. But so we moved to this pretty safe neighborhood. But, you know, there are different kinds of safety, because, as I said, I'm a black woman, and the neighborhood we lived and moved to was predominantly white, which isn't always a problem, but you already know where this is going. You know, I did not feel comfortable or safe, you know, moving or walking or running. You know, I remember I tried doing some runs, and I felt so uncomfortable because of the stares and the looks I would get from people. And this wasn't like a quick, oh, just looking and then a quick wave, like, no, but people like staring you down, like, why are you here stares? And, you know, if you know what I'm talking about. So I would say, you know, make sure it's not just safe in the typical way we think of safe, but like you feel safe and comfortable. And the reason I say that is because now, the neighborhood I live in, it's so diverse. Like, there are people from all ethnicities, probably all types of religions. And I feel safer here than I have lived here for the short, like we've been here for almost 2 months. And then I did my entire, 4 years of living in that previous space. So of course, you know, like I said, don't just look at the home. Don't just look at if like the crime rate, because the crime rate, we're not even going to get there. I study criminal justice, we're not going to go there. But make sure you're feeling comfortable in the people who are around you as well. So again, it could be doing things of that nature. If it's a better job, maybe it's picking up like what skills you need to pick up. Maybe you need to pick up some money management skills. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to lay out the plan of life. And I also want to say have some flexibility in life. Give spirit its wiggle room. And I say this as someone who plans for life and has a general idea of where I need to go. But when I have concrete ideas of how life's going to actually go, it rarely goes that way. Actually, I'm going to keep this. We also have family issues. No, I'm going to reshuffle. I want to reshuffle that really quickly. Jeez. Let me go ahead and focus really quickly. I want to get at least like one more card from this deck before I start shuffling from the other ones for this new moon and Virgo for my pile number ones. If one doesn't come out soon, I'm just going to take it as a sign that that's the only card that needed to come through. Alright, last shuffle. There we go. Financial improvements. Oh, well, we got two, but I'm going to take them. Financial improvements and busy bee. So I'm hearing, you know, when we have financial, this is the thing, when you have financial improvements, you're usually doing something to get these improvements, or usually when the financial improvements come through, you're going to get a little busier because, you know, it's energy exchange. So you got to put something out there in order to receive. So expect to be busy. I'm hearing in the next 3 to 6 months, because your finances are going to be improving. I'm hearing slowly. In the next 3 to 6 months. So expect to be busy, expect to be, I'm hearing, getting assigned certain projects or certain promotions or getting certain offers where you're going to have to be putting a lot of energy in there. But this is what I'm talking about, you stepping out of this energy of adversity, making these practical plans. Also probably why I heard money management beforehand, because you're going to be getting some more money and you're going to know how to manage, how to grow and invest that money. So that is the good news for you all. So you're not only are you like I was saying, give back, but let me continue. Not only are you improving or building your practical plan, but you're also going to get ways to implement this plan. There we go. We have give back. We also have receive healing. So a lot of you are going to be healing, because I don't know if we acknowledge this a lot, but like I said, living in a certain way is very, very exhausting, but it can also be very, very traumatic. It can be very, very traumatic. And you're going to have to heal from the experience that you're used to, because as I said, you're not supposed to live life that way. You're not supposed to operate that way. So you're going to have to heal from that experience. You also are going to want to give back. It's not, you know, we're supposed to always give back, yes, but I feel like with this group, with everything that you've experienced previously and just knowing how it is to live a heart, not life, and having this difficult phase in your life right now, expect to give back, because you're going to be in a better place. You're going to automatically want to give back to your community, to people who are in the struggle, because you've been there. So yeah, the new moon in Virgo is really blessing my number ones. Again, if you want to see more of my content, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And I also want to say that if you enjoyed this reading, please make sure you like, comment, let me know if it resonated, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a beautiful day and a blessed life. Bye. So I chose pile number 2. This is the reading for you. I will say it is storming / thundering out there, so if you hear any thunder, that's why. And if you hear any crackling and popping, it's because I'm burning my purification and protection ritual candle that I made a couple days ago. So yeah, if you hear any other noises, that's the reason why. But we're going to start with your tarot before moving on to your on-camera shuffle. We have the Five of Tomes, the Two of Vials. I will say, I heard when I flipped over the Five of Tomes, I heard losing knowledge. I heard losing knowledge. I don't know why I heard that, but that's just something that came through. It said losing knowledge, they said. We also have the Two of Vials, the Eight of Bells, and the Star. Okay. That's so interesting. That is so interesting. What's interesting to me is, although I see the Five of Tomes, for some reason I'm not getting the sense that this is about money, because I'm seeing this Two of Vials energy and it's really, really catching my eye. And if you understand the Two of Vials, you know that usually it deals with some type of partnerships in some shape, way, or form. But what's standing out to me right now is how it feels like you're not losing money, but it's like some of you, it feels, I will say, it is this heavy relationship energy. So if you're not in a relationship, then this most likely isn't a pile, and this might not be the reading for you, if the other ones doesn't resonate either. But I feel like with this pile, it's heavy in the relationship, and I feel like some of you feel like you no longer understand your partner, or you feel like you don't really know them anymore. I'm hearing some of you feel like some inner heartbreak, because you're like, who is this person I'm hearing that I'm lying next to? Who is this person that's speaking to me? I feel like you and your partner have gotten distance in a way, and I feel like it's because I'm being very, very careful. I'm very, very careful when love pops up. Let me just sit with spirit for a while. Okay. Okay, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But when I asked them to clarify for me, they said you're starting to feel like, and you're both starting to feel like you don't understand each other because of betrayal. It can lean either or, like I said, take what resonates, but because there's been some betrayal in the relationship that is making you feel like you can't understand one another. And I see, although a lot of you are feeling heartbreak at this moment because of this Eight of Bells energy, what Spirit is saying and what's coming through in the cards is that there is still hope. So I want to be very, very, very careful with this, because obviously if there is any abuse in the relationship in any shape, way, or form, I want you to disregard this message completely. If there's an abusive relationship, it's an abusive relationship and you need to get out. But for those of you where it was betrayal, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, of trust, then I'm hearing Spirit say there is some hope for this. I also want to say, like, if this is repeated betrayal, obviously this isn't for you. But if this was like that, if you'll know this reading's for you, I'm not going to keep going into detail, but they're saying it's I'm hearing they said it's some hope. They said you both just need to build everything back up from scratch. When you get betrayed, or you betray someone, or trust is broken, everything reverts all the way back. But you have to keep in mind and acknowledge how it's not even reverting all the way back. It's actually going further back than that, because trust has been broken. So you're not building this up in the mindset of thinking, let me give this person a chance, but more so like, this person has already done me wrong. So you have to put in 1,000%. They're saying you have to put in 1,000% effort in order to get this back to not where it used to be, because you don't want to go back to where it used to be. You want to build back better. They're saying you want to build this relationship back up even better than how it was, because you want to have something, I'm hearing, long lasting with this other person. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be watching this, and you would have cooked them to the curb, or you would have left, and it would have been like that. But I do see, and it makes sense, because as I was saying, this Virgo energy, we're ironing out the details of our life. The new moon in Virgo especially, we're making all these plans to move forward in life while we're envisioning where it is we want to go. But here's the thing, when you're in a relationship, when you're in a relationship, and especially a long-term one, it's not just you building the plans, and it's not just your plans, because you have this other person or other people, if you're polyamorous, that you have to build these future plans up with as well. And for you all, like I said, we're ironing out these details. You need to iron out your relationship so you can iron out these future plans, because you have this other person. It's not just you. So let's go ahead and pull some more cards to see what else this new moon in Virgo is bringing, and also what else Spirit has to say. I more so feel like this is what Spirit has to say, because we know the energy. It's building this relationship back up. So the thunder has been really, really wild. Like I felt that, and even my dog like lifted his head up. It's like, really? But you know, I'm feeling like Spirit's gonna have something to say. Love yourself. Okay, so obviously you need to have some more self-love, which makes sense, because when, hi Pupper, my dog got up, he's like, Mom, did you hear that? But you know, when trust is broken, and depending on where it's broken from, and honestly, you know, sometimes people do some things because they don't love themselves and they want to feel loved, and they weren't getting it fully from a relationship. Not excusing anything, but these are the reasons why people sometimes, you know, have that betrayal. Oh, under the deck we got temptation. I'm going to take that. But, you know, you have to build up, I'm hearing they said you have to build up that love for yourself, regardless of what went down. Because obviously, no matter how it went, there was something missing. I'll leave it like that. There was something missing that caused someone to go looking somewhere. And they're saying, you know, really build yourself back up. Especially the love you have for yourself, regardless of whose fault it is. You need to love yourself, most definitely. Because if you don't love yourself, that's so gonna pop up in relationships. Like, look, if you have self-worth and some things you need to improve on, it's always gonna pop up in a romantic relationship. Always, without fail. We also have romance is yours. Yeah, most definitely was a pile for those in relationships. So while you're building this back up, oh, obviously don't stray into temptations, but while you're building this back up, you're going to be building, like I said, you're going to be building this back up better. And there's going to be a rekindling of romance, because as I said, you're going to build it up from a healthy, like a healthier state, a stronger state. So expect, the romance to be rekindled in this relationship for sure. As Spirit has already told us from before, there is hope. There is hope. If I can shuffle, well, I got that. We have vibration. And I'm hearing not that you need high vibes, but that you and your partner need to be in alignment with one another. But yeah, I see a lot of you two are really gonna have to like know each other better than you ever had before, because what Spirit is saying and communicating to me right now is there were some things that weren't being communicated in the relationship, how people were feeling, what was going through their mind, and that had further increased the blockage between you two. With vibration, they're really saying how you guys are going to really need to focus on being in alignment with one another, understanding one another, and being like on the same page at all times, and not blocking each other out like you used to. That's their words, not mine. Don't block each other out like you used to. Be willing and able to fully be honest with one another, because that's the only way things are going to be able to improve, is if you're honest. And I'm hearing you show your raw side. You know what that means. I don't, but you know what that means. Acceptance. Yeah, so you have to accept each other for who you are, not who you're expecting each other to be, or not who you think you should be in a relationship. Some of you may not be super long term. I'm hearing some of you may be 1 year or less as well. And you need to let go of this perceived notion of how you think you should act in a relationship, how you think your partner is expecting you to be, and just simply be yourself, because that's where the romance and the understanding and the alignment is really going to come from. So with that being said, this is my reading for number 2s. If you did enjoy it, make sure you like, make sure you comment, let me know if it resonated or not, because this one was a little deep. And subscribe if you want to see more of my content. And again, if you want to see even more than you do on YouTube, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a beautiful day and a blessed life. Bye. So for those of you that chose pile number 3, we're going to start with your tarot cards before moving into the on-camera shuffle. I will say if you hear any crackling, I have my purification and protection candle burning that I made not too long ago. And if you hear any thunder, I think it might have stopped, but it is storming outside. So let's go ahead and see what the tarot cards have for you. First off, we have the 3 of candles, or the 3 of wands. So obviously we have some forward movement. I'm hearing we're going to be leaving the past in the past and just saying, let's set our eyes on the future. I'm hearing that, what did not Elastic Girl. Oh, Edna from Incredibles. What did she say? I don't look back, darling. It only distracts from the future or the present. I'm going to have to find it. I made a meme not too long ago. I'm going to have to include it here so you can see what I'm talking about. We also have the Mystic of Vows, or the King of Cups. We have the Tower in reverse. Okay, so a lot of things are stabilizing, which makes sense with this new moon in Virgo. Obviously your earth sign. We have the 4 of Vials, and we also have the 10 of Tomes. Okay, so obviously, like I said, a lot of things are stabilizing with this, the Tower in reverse. So we're not going to be having some super major changes. So this in every reading, but also especially if you saw the last full moon in Aquarius reading, that was the second full moon in the sign of Aquarius. A lot of things were coming into completion, and this Virgo energy, we're going to be ironing out a lot of these little kinks or crinkles we have in life right now. That's what's happening with you. You've already gone through, excuse me, these major changes, and I just heard Spirit say now it's time to put the finishing touches on everything. With this 4 of Vials energy, I see a lot of you are just moving into this time of, like I said, stability, especially in regards to things that help make you emotionally stable. I don't think we really talk about how, you know, we talk about a lot how we need to have, we need to remain calm and balanced all the time, but it's very, very hard to do that when your external factors are influencing your livelihood. And I see by your livelihood starting to stabilize, especially with this 10 of Tomes energy, your emotions with the Mystic of Vows and 4 of Vows, you know, you're no longer being swayed by your emotions because you realize you're moving into this time of peace and comfort, not only for you, but your family as well. Family popped up when I was shuffling this card, and it's popping up now. And let me say this because Spirit put this on my mind and I have to say it. You don't have to have kids or a huge family or live in a house with a bunch of people to still want the best for your family. You can be thinking of your future family. And just a little bit, you know, I like to talk about me sometimes so you can know I understand, and you can empathize. Yeah, we can empathize with each other. Me and my fiance, we talk about our future kids a lot. We talk about, you know, what we want for them, the type of environment we want to create for them now. You know, we put things in motion now, so when the time does come, when they do, you know, appear in this physical world, we have already laid down the foundations and the I'm hearing the bricks. So when they do arrive, you know, we don't have to rush to get things together, but you know, everything is already set for them. And this is kind of the energy I'm feeling with you. Now that things are stabilizing for you, you're going to start, you know, things are stabilizing for your family. And this is just going to make it easy, I'm hearing, for your whole household or future household. Take it as it resonates if you have children now, or if you're going to have children in the future. And I'm hearing if you don't have any plans to have any children, which is fine, you know, this is not the reading for you. You know, Spirit has been very, very particular about telling people and giving little signs of if the reading or the pile is not for you. So if you don't have any plans for having any future children, this is not the pile for you. I would recommend you checking the other two, and if those don't resonate, then this isn't the reading for you. They're really emphasizing stability, not just for you, but as I said, for your children as well, for your grandchildren, and eventually for your lineage. I also want to say, man, this 10 of Tomes is sticking out so much. Your ancestors would also like to connect with you. They want you to keep them in mind. They want you to go ahead and connect with them to, I'm hearing, strengthen the lineage. Because what's standing out to me, they're coming through. What's standing out to me is right now they're saying to understand them and understand your lineage so you can teach your children and your grandchildren as well, so they can have this strength in the lineage, and they can know, how do I want to describe this? I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to understand what they're telling me right now. They're saying that they don't want the children and the grandchildren to question things like you did when you were growing up, to go through this period of discovery about your lineage, about your heritage, about your I'm hearing your family worth. I don't know why that's coming through, but you know, maybe things weren't easy growing up. Maybe you may have come from a low economic background and things of that nature, but they're saying they're saying prepare. They're saying get everything ready for them and prepare everything for them so they don't have to experience and go through this period of discovery and this period of trying to figure everything out. I'm hearing on your own or on their own like you did. So they're saying prepare. They're saying prepare. That's coming out a lot. I'm going to keep shuffling the oracle cards because obviously, as I said, this is a time of emotional stability, and it's also a time of financial stability. And it's like you're, as I was saying, you're laying down those bricks or laying down that foundation for generations to come. Again, Virgo season, Virgo new moon, especially ironing out those details in your plans, planting those seeds, I'm hearing, and just preparing, like I said, for the future generations. Long term with this group. Very, very long term. Like I said, let it go. 3 of Candles. So this old way of, I'm hearing, operating in the family where people are struggling to lay down their foundation, where people are struggling to discover their heritage, discover their power, discover their confidence. All of that is being let go. I'm hearing that some of you are the generational curse breakers in the family. Your ancestors are heavily in this reading. They really want you to connect with them. Weighing options. Yeah, so like I said, you're putting down this foundation. So a lot of you are weighing the best options because I'm hearing a lot of you are saying, you know, moving forward, me and my partner, this is you, me and my partner are only going to have the best. Therefore, our children and our grandchildren and their children are only going to have the best moving forward. It's really about creating, I'm hearing, this empire for your future lineage so no one has to struggle anymore. Ever. I'm hearing, ever. That's the intention you're setting with this new moon in Virgo. Lack of passion. Yeah, so they're saying nobody's going to be doing things mindlessly anymore just for a coin, but people are also going to be focused on their passions. People are going to have the freedom and the ability to focus on their passions and not just making ends meet. Busy bee. Yeah. You're going to be busy. You're going to be busy preparing and laying down this foundation, as I said. This is not easy. In no way, shape, or form. I'm also hearing estate planning for this group as well. Forward movement. 3 of Candles. Forward movement. We have estate planning. I'm hearing writing wills. This isn't for concern, but they're really just laying it down. Like, be prepared. Like, they're saying, get everything ready ahead of time. So, when push comes to shove, you already, you know, yeah, you have a choice. So, you can be prepared early, or, you know, when things come around, it's kind of like a free-for-all, I'm hearing, because it's going to be a lot to go around. I'm not trying to be morbid or anything, but I'm just saying, like, you're going to be building and accumulating a lot as you move through life, and your partner, or just you, take it how it resonates. But they're saying to make sure, you know, everything is prepared, the estate planning, the wills, I'm hearing any trust funds, so that way, you know, everything is already laid out for the future generations. This is new moon. The energy of the new moon in Virgo for you is going so far into the future. But they're really emphasizing that prepared energy. And for you, you're ironing out your details when it comes to your family. So with that being said, this is my reading for my number 3s. If you enjoy it, please make sure you like and comment, letting me know if it resonates. If you'd like to see more of me or my content, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more of my content outside of YouTube, be sure to check me out on Instagram and TikTok. And I really do appreciate you for stopping by and watching. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day and a blessed life.